What's going on, guys? How y'all doing today? And welcome back to the Minecraft Adventures, where last episode I rambled, as always. I rambled for days. And, oh my god, what is going on with the animation? I swear there's something different about the animation for mining stuff. Either that or I'm just tripping balls, man. So, today, it is actually, what time is it? It's 3:30 in the morning. So, I've been totally screwed over at work recently, and this week, in general, I've just been totally screwed over. Like, 2 staff today called in sick, and there was no one to cover the shifts, so, yeah, I've just got home, and I'm recording TMA, because dedication, baby, dedication. Yeah, it's not going to stop me from recording TMA. Like, I made a promise to you guys, I'm going to make videos, and I'm doing my absolute best to keep on top of all that stuff, so here we go, TMA. So in today's video, what we're going to be talking about is, I have a topic that I would like to talk about. Let me just get some torches out, because it's getting a little bit dark. So, I thought this is a fairly interesting topic, and I thought I could elaborate on it a little bit more, because it's something that I do have a reasonable amount of experience in, and it comes from Cosbo2K4, What to Do About Drugs, interesting, and is it better to concentrate on girlfriends more than school? So I think that's a fairly good topic to talk about, because I have experience in both. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be like straight up and honest with you guys, as I always am. I have experience in both. Which may be surprising. He had a girlfriend. What? Yeah, I do have a little bit of experience in those departments, so I will talk about it. But first of all, I've just got to Max English. There you go. He wanted me to start shout his name out, so I thought I'd say his name. Why not? You know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. What are you gonna do? But yeah, so first of all, we'll talk about drugs and stuff like that. Now, I'm not going to lie, I am as straight up as they come. I'm a straight up dude. I tell it how it is, and that's about that, really. I'm going to give you the pretty much the standard warnings, because I do know that some, like, adults, parents, whatever, do watch my videos and have or heard my videos or seen my videos, and I know there's a lot of young people out there. So I'm not going to deny the fact that people do try, like a lot of people at some point in their life will try drugs at some point. Now, I'm going to tell you from experience that it's not all that. Like, everyone, there's massive hype about it, and the movies, and like all the movies are totally overrated when it comes to how drugs like affect you and all of that kind of stuff. So it is completely overrated. Now, what I will tell you for a full-on fact is that it will get you into a lot of trouble. Now, what I mean by that is the fact that in order to get your hands on drugs, you're going to have to be like kind of, what's the right way to word it, dealing with the wrong kind of people. You're going to have to be mixing with the wrong crowd. It's just not the kind of people you want to be seen with or be around. And it can have nothing but bad effects on you, really. Now, there are some, obviously, there are some exclusions to that. There are some drugs that obviously can be good for you, or necessarily there is like a fair amount of arguments that will argue against that all drugs are bad for you, because not all drugs are bad for you. One of the biggest things I can say that is bad for you is it will drain your money. You will spend so much money on drugs. If you do get into drugs and you get addicted to drugs, not everyone does, but if you were to get addicted to drugs, you know it's going to drain your cash. You're gonna run out of money, and you're not going to be able to do stuff like awesome stuff like buy like all the latest games that come out and go out to really like go out and spend time with your friends and have a laugh with your friends and stuff like that. You're not going to be able to do all that because you're going to be spending your money on drugs. So that sucks. Like, so that's one of the basic reasons. Other than that, I don't know all of the quote-unquote scientific, technical, whatever you want to call it, sides behind drug usage and how it can affect you and how like it is either A, good for you or bad for you, so on and so forth. I don't know all of that stuff, so I can't fill you in. I'm not a doctor, if that's the best way to describe it. So I'm not going to pretend that I am. So with that excluded from the kind of equation, drugs as a whole, like I said before, it's just not a good idea, in my opinion. Everyone, like I said before, everyone at some point in their life, not everybody, I don't mean to categorize everybody, but a large percentage of people at some point in their life will try at least a drug. One of the most popular drug being is like marijuana, or weed, or whatever you call it in your local area. A lot of people try that. Is a high percentage of people will try that at some point in their life when they go to, what I'll call higher education for a wider audience, I suppose. Like university, college, all that kind of stuff. So at some point in your life, you'll probably stumble across somebody who either smokes weed or offers you weed, or you smoke it yourself. One of those combinations. I'm sure at some point you will encounter it, because the world is a very open place and people aren't afraid to express all that kind of stuff. So you are likely to experience it in some shape or form at some point in your life. What I will say is, like I said before, it affects people in different ways. For me, when I did weed, it put me to sleep. That's all it ever did. It just made me tired. It had literally no other effect than that on me. It didn't make me giggle. It didn't give me the giggles or anything like that. I didn't hallucinate like a crazy person. All it did was make me sleepy. And to me, spending as much money as you can spend on weed or drugs in general, it's just not worth it. Like, why would I spend that much money paying for something that puts me to sleep? Now, understandably, there are some people that would like that benefit of being able to go to sleep and stuff like that. Other people, for example, my ex, she tried weed for the first time, and God knows why, because she was like, trust me, I never heard the end of it. She hated it when I lived with her. But when she went to university, she tried it, and supposedly it helped to concentrate on her, her uni work better. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what she says. So I'll just throw that in there as as some kind of opinion on the whole matter. But as far as I'm concerned, and my personal experience with it, it just made me sleepy. It really wasn't that great. Whether they should legalize it and all that kind of stuff, don't know. Don't follow the news or politics or anything like that. So I can't really give much of an opinion on that. But what I will say is, like I said before, I on my personal opinion, I think it's a waste of money. I think you can find much better things to spend your money on and your time on than drugs, in my opinion. Now, obviously, not everyone's going to agree with that. Some people will agree with that, so on and so forth. Completely up to you. But what I will say is, everyone experiences it at some point in their life. They will stumble across it at some point, and it's something that you go through. And whether you choose to do it or not is completely up to you. You can choose to have it, and then you can choose to just you can experience it and then decide that you're never going to do it again, or you can just straight up say no. My personal advice to you is do not do it, because there is no point to it. You don't gain anything from doing it other than other than an experience, I suppose. It's the only thing you could possibly gain from trying drugs is experiencing something. Now, on a broader range, drugs include a lot. Drugs aren't just necessarily marijuana and cocaine and all that kind of stuff. Drugs can spread as wide as for all I know, the guy that commented it, he could have meant smoking, smoking cigarettes or alcohol abuse, all that kind of stuff. Alcohol and smoking cigarettes, from experience, and smoking cigarettes is something that I can vouch for. I've smoked for about 11 years now. I would personally advise that you never ever smoke. Just don't do it, because once you get addicted, it's incredibly difficult to get out of that hook. That you get hooked in by it, and it's incredibly difficult to quit and let go of it. So my personal advice to you is, don't smoke. Just ever. Just never ever smoke a cigarette. One, it is a pure money drainer. It just drains a lot of money. I smoke tobacco, so I roll my own cigarettes, so it doesn't cost me nearly as much as the people who smoke what I call straight cigarettes, where it's out of a packet. However, like I said before, it is a money drainer. It drains your money, and again, you gain nothing from smoking cigarettes. Literally, it's the same. It's pretty much the same with any drug. Drinking alcohol, within reason, can be a good and or bad thing. Now, I've drank for so long now that I know. Eventually, when you start drinking alcohol, you'll learn that you have a certain limit of how much you can drink. So you'll drink X amount of alcohol, and you'll learn that after, say, 5 pints, that's your limit. After 5 pints, you're going to be pretty drunk, to the point where you cannot control yourself. I'm the kind of person that likes to be in control of what I do, so I like to be able to like be fully aware of what's going around me. If something was to happen, I'd like to have control over the situation. Not in like, obviously not be like a control freak or anything like that, but as in, like, if my friend is like hurt or injured or upset about something, I'd like to be able to have the power, if you will, like the self-control to be able to do something about that. So yeah, so alcohol is something that everyone will try. You will, unless you're religious. I'm sure at some point in your life you will try alcohol. Would not surprise me in the slightest if you tried alcohol. A lot of people do, and yeah, alcohol is good. It gives you a fun vibe. You go through. There's so many different stages that you can go through with alcohol, depending on your personality and the way your surroundings and all that kind of stuff. For example, if you don't know what I mean, is you can... Oh, God damn it. You can be sat in a very quiet, like, cozy, like, pub environment, and you can have a couple of drinks, you can have a lot of drinks, and you won't feel drunk at all until you, like, step outside, the air hits you, and all of a sudden the alcohol hits you and you feel really, really drunk. So that is one thing that can happen with alcohol. Or you can be in, like, a club environment where there's, like, music playing and everyone's partying and stuff like that, and you can have 2 drinks and you'll feel really drunk. So, like, it varies. Alcohol is hit and miss with a lot of people. It varies from, like, person to person. The same with any kind of drug, really. It varies from person to person. But my personal advice on it is, when it comes to drugs like weed or cocaine or anything like that, is that it is a real money drainer. It proper drains your money and you don't gain anything from it. In my personal opinion, it never did anything for me. So it might do something for you. And I'm the kind of guy that is very open-minded and very laid back, in that sense that you're more than welcome to try it, but be aware that you have more right than anybody else to say no. Never ever give in to peer pressure. You're your own person, and if you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's as simple as that. It sounds like a stupid thing to say, but I have met countless amounts of people that are afraid to say no, or they can't say no because they feel obliged to, or something along those lines. Never ever be afraid to say no. It's not very difficult. Say no, walk away, and yeah, move on with your life. In regards to any situation, no one's gonna hate you any more or any less for saying no to something that you don't personally want to do. It's like, easy way to compare it is something this is a slightly more dramatic than trying out a drug, for example. But someone could say to you, jump off a cliff, right? And you could quite happily say no to that. And it's the same scenario. If someone offers you a drug, say no. Like, you have more than anybody's right to say no. You're in control of your body and what you do with your life. And you should never ever feel ashamed or frightened to say no to something. So you're more than welcome to try it, but be aware that you can say no, and never ever feel ashamed for it. Don't feel like you're going to be left out for whatever reason. Be the guy that, the next day wakes up and chats to your friends and laughs about the stuff that you remember because they can't remember it. You know what I mean? Be one of those people. So that's my opinion on drugs. Now, obviously, like I said before, this is why I get very wary about talking about this kind of stuff, because it is my opinion. It's not fact, and I always say this in all of my videos. It's not fact. Do not take it as gospel. That's how I word it. It's it's just an opinion at the end of the day. So you can decide for yourselves whether you want to do something or not do something. Listen to me or not listen to me. It's completely up to you guys. But yeah, so that kind of covers the whole drug thing. Like I said before, it's up to you. You either do or you don't. No one's gonna force you to do it by any means. And if they do, then they're quite obviously not your friend. So yeah, that's my opinion on drugs. So moving on to the second topic, which is probably worth a whole video's worth of conversation. 1 second. Um, so girlfriends. Now I have a large experience in this because I've been in short relationships and long relationships to the point, or the extent, should I say, that I've been at school and I've had a 2 year, 2.5 year relationship with a girl at school, and I've had a week-long relationship with a girl at school, you know, and I've been at the right age to understand what the fuck, like what I'm going through. So I have a decent amount of experience in that scenario. Now the guy that commented asked specifically, is it better to concentrate on girlfriends more than school? Right. So this is, in some people's opinion, a relatively serious topic to talk about. In other people's, it's a blatant, obvious answer. My answer to you is there is a time and a place for everything. You hear that, I'm sure everyone's heard that from their parents or something like that along the lines at some point in their life. Everyone hears it. And it's true. Like, you dedicate time for everything. Now, when it comes to girlfriends, especially when you're in education, you have to be selfish. And being selfish isn't a bad thing. It's okay to be selfish. A lot of people think that it's a really bad thing if you're a selfish person. It's not, as long as it's used in the right manner. In the sense that, I mean, for example, it sounds like a really stupid thing to say. Do your homework first, and then give your girlfriend some time. Like, spend time with your girlfriend when you've done your homework. Like, it's a given. You know, put yourself first, because at the end of the day, you may or may not be, and it's a high chance. Trust me on this. It is a high chance that you will not be with this girl in years to come. So, you know, concentrate on your life and what's going on with you and your education and stuff like that, because it's important. It will affect you at a later date, whereas it's not going to strictly affect her right now. So it's important that you know, put the correct amount of time into the right things. And with that being said, you know, put a good amount of time into your education and your work and all that kind of stuff. Now, work and girlfriends is a little bit different, because I have a different opinion on that kind of stuff. I've not experienced it as much as everyone, like a lot of my older subscribers have. I have a lot of older subscribers. Some of them are married with kids. I know that because I've met some of them. So, yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. But strictly when it comes to school, there is a time and a place for everything. You have a lunch break that you will not experience when you have a job. When you have a job, your lunch break is, depending on what job you have, but from my experience, your lunch break at school is a lot longer. You have a lot more time at school to have breaks and chill out and do whatever you want to do at school than you do when you're at home. When you have a job. So keep that in mind when you're at school. That when you have like an hour lunchtime, spend your hour with your girlfriend, or when you've done your homework or whatever, spend your evenings or your afternoons with your girlfriend, whatever the case may be, or your boyfriend if you're a girl out there, because I do know I have a lot of female subscribers. So yeah, everything within moderation, but make sure you put the right things first. And in my eyes, and trust me from experience, education comes first before a girlfriend, and she would, if you're with the right girl, she will appreciate that. And I'm sure, as girls are naturally gifted at this, when they're in education, they will find it much easier to separate, a guy, the girl will find it much easier to separate her boyfriend and her, her education. Like she'll find it easier to moderate time and all that kind of stuff. So you can do it. You're a guy. Just because they say guys can't multitask, we can do it, and I know a lot of you guys can do as well. But yeah, make sure you put the right time into the right thing. Excuse me. So yeah, that's kind of the whole kind of concept. Now, there are certain exclusions where there may be a situation where you meet a girl at school, and a lot of people do, like my grandparents did, and a lot of other people do, when they meet their girlfriends at a very young age, and they marry them, and they're with them for the rest of their lives. And if you're one of those people, then fucking GG to you. Excuse my French, but fair play. I have a lot of respect and a lot of time for people who can do that. a lot of time and respect for those people, because it's a difficult thing to do. Trust me, I've lived with a girl before, and you know, when you live with a girl, your relationship changes. It's a different kind of relationship, and it's harder to hold together than it is when you don't live with them, for example. So, strictly in regards to strictly in regards to education and girlfriends, put your education first. Same applies to you girls. If you have a boyfriend, put your education first, and then make time for your boyfriend, because it's your life, and it's important to be selfish in that regard, because you're talking about a career for the rest of your life. And if you're one of those people like me who doesn't have much care for how his or her life is going, I don't have much care for, you know, having an amazing career for the rest of my life or earning loads and loads of money. I don't have much care for that, but I do care for the future of my children. If I have children at some point in my life, I care about that. So it was very important for me to have built some kind of education and a career that I can, you know, use at some point in my life to look after my family if I am to have one at some point in my life. So yeah, so that is, if that's not a good enough reason to be selfish, then be selfish just for the money. I don't know, but like I said before, like I keep saying, guys, it's, you know, put your education first before anything else. It is incredibly important, and it's a fast track. That is one of the biggest things, like I stressed enough in my last video. It's a fast track to having an easier life. And trust me, you want to take the easier life, because having a hard life is not by any means fun. It makes you appreciate things more, but when you've worked hard for something, like when you've worked hard in education for something, you appreciate how hard you've worked for it, and you appreciate things a lot more when you get there. So yeah, that's all I can kind of say on that matter. What time is it? Right, we're 22 minutes into the video, and before I finish this off, I've got sugarcane in one of these chests. I've got 9 sugarcane. We're going to plant some sugarcane because I need to get this enchantment table going. We need to get some enchantments on. So let's plant some sugarcane, and we will work on growing some of this for the next episode. And I reckon next episode we'll actually make a sugarcane farm and some more like melon farms and stuff like that, because we still actually need to find a dungeon and stuff. But I think that'll pretty much wrap it up for this episode. Thank you very much to, I'm trying to find your name again, Cosbo24K, 2K4, sorry, for the good topic and an interesting topic to talk about. If you have a topic that you'd like me to talk about in one of these episodes, then be sure to let me know. If you'd like me to strictly talk about games and gameplay and Minecraft in general, then let me know about that as well. I have no problem talking about the gameplay. It's just that there's, you know, people have been asking me questions that I'd like, you know, that want my opinion on it, and I'm more than happy to talk about it in a video. So remember their opinions, and I would love to hear your opinions on those subjects. Concentrating on girlfriends at school and talking about drugs. Let me know your opinions and your life experiences in the comment section below, please. I'd love to read them. And yeah, as always, guys, it's been Orion. If you've enjoyed this video, please drop it a rating. I'd appreciate that, guys. I do realise that for those guys who are with me at the moment, still on this channel, like at this point in the video, that views have been down recently and all that kind of stuff. The channel is on a downfall at this precise moment in time. But those likes and stuff really help me motivate myself to keep making videos, because it's difficult times, man. It's 3:30 and I'm still making videos. Well, it's 22 now, 10 now. But yeah, please give the video a rating. It does mean a lot to me. And if you're new around here, feel free to subscribe. But as always, this has been Orion, and I guess I'll catch you guys later. Speak to you in the next video, I guess. And peace out for now.